Hello, welcome to the Apple Report. I'm Dr. Karen Hiltz, and I'm going to deviate a little bit this week because I want to share some information regarding education and a conference that I went to this past weekend in Nashville. It was by invitation only, and I was very fortunate, blessed to be asked to be a panelist for one of the discussion sessions. But let me kind of run down some of the things that were discussed. But first, let me tell you what B.E.S.T stands for. Building education for students together. Now, that may seem kind of common sense, I'll say, but there are too many organizations and entities out there that aren't necessarily looking out for the best interest of students. And we need to keep in mind that education is the foundation of our civil society. And if we want to have a society of freedoms and rights, then we all need to be engaged and concerned about the education of our children. So let me just kind of run through a few of the things that were discussed there. We had some opening remarks from the director. This was actually hosted by FreedomWorks. So you can find out about FreedomWorks at freedomworks.org. But we had Mr. Corey DeAngelis from the Reason Foundation, who shared not only information from pre-COVID, but from post-COVID as well. And he's done some research. He's done research in several different areas of education. And he has a current report that you can find at the Reason Foundation website. So I would suggest that you go on and find what they have done and what they have found with regards to the data. We had some discussion with regards to special needs children. We were very fortunate to have a mother of a Down syndrome child. So both Tara and Samuel were in attendance. It was very nice to meet both of them and to hear their story and their challenges that they faced with regards to ensuring that Samuel had an education, a good education, a quality education. We also heard from the founder of Classical Conversations. I've heard of this organization before. They're a curriculum for homeschoolers, most notably. And I was interested to hear that they're not only in the U.S., but they are in 50 plus countries around the globe. So that's very encouraging and exciting to hear. We also had a discussion with regards to legislation and policy, what education and policy is out there. And right now, many states are right in the middle of their legislative sessions. I know here in Florida we are. And we're following the education legislation rather closely as well. So be careful of understanding what your legislators are proposing, the words they're using, because words have meaning and words don't mean the same thing to everybody. So you need to be careful and aware of the words that are being used when it comes to legislation and policy. Where was a panel discussion with regards to critical race theory. And that was quite interesting, as there were some people from No Left Turn there, to include the founder, Dr. Ilana Fishbein. And then we also had a young man from B.E.S.T, Mr. Aaron Alexander, who was very informative, and he shared his experience with regards to going through his education at K-12 level. And then when he got into college and was introduced to things that he was not aware of, it made him start thinking. And then he was introduced to B.E.S.T, which you know is an organization that Candace Owen founded. Then there was the panel that I was on, which is Roles and Responsibilities in State and Local Education. Having been a former school board member, I was able to share some of my experiences. But one of the things that I want to share most importantly is whatever state you're in, if you want to run for school board, I highly, highly, highly suggest that you start with your state constitution, understand what article your state constitution is in, and then look at your code or statutes to identify what the guidelines are, the policy, the direction that the state Department of Education intends to move forward with implementing the legislation and the policy. So there again, as a former local school board member, it's important to start with the foundation of understanding the legislation and the policy that drives what is done and implemented at the local level. Then we had a gentleman who came and spoke with regards to being a school board candidate, and some things that you need to be aware of and know. So it was a really fun-filled but informative conference, and a lot of people provided some very good feedback, very motivated, very encouraged. Several people committed to going back to their districts, their states, and running for school board. And we really do want to encourage people to get engaged and get involved in their education system in their local jurisdiction. Because again, education is the foundation for our civil society and with maintaining our rights and responsibilities as citizens of the greatest nation on earth, the United States of America. So please like and share this video. I hope it was informative, and we will get back on track next week with regards to talking about some impacts of government and what are some things we need to be aware of and move forward from here. So please like and share, and I will see you next week. Thanks.